So last time on Sleeping Dragon's Wake, there is a lake of acid, but no, it's Wake. You headed to see, I said it fine before. Chogliliamatar's Old Gnawbones, the Green Dragon's lair, to hopefully head off and her future attack on the town of Leylon that you saw in a vision from the dragon god Bahamut. When you arrived, you fought off a patrol of undead led by a flame skull. When you entered the lair, to avoid some disorienting green spores, you ventured through a cave full of animated vines, which promptly attacked you. But Sally was able to get through the spores, and on her way back to you, ran into a room full of druids and spiders, which she promptly murdered without so much as a hello.
They didn't play as hard as Sally could.
And exploring further, you saw a large underground lake of green acid, preventing you from moving forward, at least not easily. So you decided to take another route, and when you did, you were promptly attacked by little wooden creatures called woodwoads. And after dispatching them, that is where we left off. So we did not have a long rest or a short rest.
I think I had 56 health. I don't know why it changed.
I can check the video from last.
I think it was 56.
I have
Here, one of you
health.
check. One of you check the video from last time.
I don't know why it went up to full health. It's so strange.
I have 38 health. Just use mine as a reference. Just go to 38 health. You'll be fine.
No. No, I'm pretty sure it was 50 something, and I knew there was a 6 involved, so it's probably 56.
Make it an even 20. All's well.
It might be 516, I guess, based on the information I just gave. But
so when did you get the HP of a boss?
listen, I'm always a boss. Awkward silence.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Get out of here, ad for Heroes War. Hero War is the new Raid Shadow Legends.
Shadow Legends.
You are at 53 health.
53?
Yeah.
I knew there was a 6 involved.
Was Raid Shadow Legends a thing for like a month?
I guess you were talking about the ad you got. I thought for a second that you were like doing some kind of weird promotion in the middle of our D&D game. I was like, oh, no, I guess we're sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, we're sponsored now.
I was just looking through the old video. Had to play an ad.
I would love to be sponsored.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If anybody wants to sponsor us, go right ahead. We don't.
So
you don't mind selling out.
So you just had a battle. You may do as you will.
I think we should take a short rest, if anything else. Some of us sound like we have 38 health in this party.
Yeah, it might be. Not quite.
Where's Murook?
Lilisula coughs in 19.
Murook is missing.
That is a good question. Where am I?
It's your character.
I don't see my token.
Murook is gone, everybody. He must have sunk into the swamp.
Did you move into the fog of war?
Sally, it did not have anything to do with it this time.
Wait, are you underneath somebody else's character? Oh, there you are.
Oh, he was under
out
the
of the tree.
I was hanging out under the tree.
Oh, hey, Murook. Where'd you come from?
I was sitting under the tree.
He's a far traveler. He came from a distant land. I'm sorry. Anyway, we probably should take a short rest, all jokes aside.
Wait, Lilisula is missing too.
Oh, that's true. Man, we're disappearing one by one. It's like a horror movie.
People being
Where's all the characters going? This is a part of the game. This is really happening. That's weird. Okay.
Oh, now there's
Lemon's
two
on there
lemons.
twice.
Which one of them might be fake? Lemon, tell us something only Lemon would know.
This is the premise of a very badly made, scary, low-budget scary movie. Like, people in a Zoom chat dying off one by one as people in a D&D campaign just focus are going away.
Like Dark
so-
like some modern sequel to Dark Dungeons.
Yeah.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
I vote short rest. I think we should sit here for, I guess, an hour.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt.
Anything to do for an hour.
Okay, so before you do that,
Zyzzyx gets
Uh-oh.
bored.
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Okay.
Whoops.
And give him a minute to find the beholder token.
You have a successful short rest.
Oh, God.
That was tense.
Well, you're in the middle of a dragon lair, you know?
That's fair.
So how does short rests work? You roll a dice or something, and then, like, something happens?
You roll some hit
Hit
dice.
the button at the top that says short rest.
Oh,
And
that's great.
then you put a check mark into the number of dice that you want to roll, and then a little box says what those numbers are. You hit that button, not the Beyond 21, and then it will roll and add that dice to your hit points.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on real
You
quick.
lost them a long time ago.
Okay, so is it the one with the box?
It will have a heart in it.
So I'm gonna click on that.
So you roll the heart box.
No, you select how many dice before you do that. You
Yeah, I
select
did.
how many
Yeah.
dice.
I did, yeah. And
I rolled 2
Bingo.
dice.
alright. Good.
And then when you're done with that, before you take short rest and then confirm.
Yeah, that's, I guess, what I did. It didn't actually heal me, but I can just add 9 to this. It's fine. Plus 9. There. Problem solved.
Make sure you take away your the hit dice you used.
Yeah, I clicked out. Well, I clicked on 2 of them.
I'll double check it worked for you. Hold on.
But just make sure you manually check, you know, which your hit dice, so in case you do another short rest, you don't get free ones. So.
Apparently, I can't see that. That's something
No.
I can't get to.
Should I do a 3rd one or something? I don't know. I clicked on 2 of them, and then it had the little heart box. And then
I'm not a player enough to know what happens.
And then
You do
I
all
clicked
this.
on. So I'll roll another one just for fun. So I click on the heart box, and it rolls a little dice. I roll a 2, which gives me a 4. And then what? I press the take short rest button.
And then twice.
I hit it twice. Yeah, because there's a confirm. Okay.
And then make sure automatically apply healing with dice result is checked.
Oh wait, what? Where's? Oh, well no, that is checked. We didn't do anything. Ah, whatever. I can do it myself.
Me too.
I don't care.
Alright.
Question for you, Veriphys. Are your hit die that you use now marked off with squares?
Yeah, but they were
Okay.
before when I clicked them. But if I click a new one, it just says 1. Like it's fine. I know what it's doing. I
Okay.
think.
I just wanted to make sure that it was taking them out of your pool.
I'll just try to remember if it's weird. I whatever. It's fine.
Only one of the hit dice that I did registered on my HP, so I don't know what's going on.
I got all mine.
We'll change-
Roll initiative. Our hit die aren't showing up. Man.
We'll change it manually if it's not doing it automatically.
I guess I'll roll one more.
God forbid we bring pen and paper to this pen
Dang.
and paper game.
Mm.
Plus 8. Look at that. Now I'm at. Well, I shouldn't be at 74. I should be at 72. Cool. There. Look at that.
We'll get
How
this
far-
down by the 8th campaign.
Okay, we're good. I'm fine. I don't need to rest anymore.
How
Let's
far
get
away
our
are you
suitcases and.
From, how far
What?
from full are you?
Oh no, I am just full now.
Oh, okay. Was anyone not able to get all the way that they wanted to be? Because I've got some cure wounds sitting around here.
I'm mighty healthy now.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good.
I'm good too.
Well, cool.
Easier to get a spell slot back than a hit die. Well, that's might not be true necessarily.
Right, what are you guys doing?
Well, we gotta
I
climb
want
up
to
this
go up
cliff.
here. I want to go
Yeah.
up there.
Alright, whoever's climbing, give me a strength check. Or a athletics check.
Really bad. Oh, I am not bad at that. Oh, I'm really bad at that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too muddy, Zyzzyx just can't get a good grip.
But I live in mud. I love mud.
I got
Sally,
6 on my check, but I have flying boots. Can I like supersede this?
yeah, you can use your boots to fly up. Murook doesn't have any problems getting up.
I throw my rope up to Murook and say, "Hey, hold this.
Grab the rope and pull him up.
Lemon, come a little closer to me." Oh, you just pull. I tie it. Okay, I tie it around my waist,
Nope. It's like, nope.
and he goes, "Whoa!"
Right, you're all up there.
I didn't mean to step on your toes, Joey. Did that work?
It all worked.
Okay.
Well, I don't see any strange green spores. I don't think, anyway.
Sally, you want to just run on ahead and kill everything?
Sally nods in excitement and runs ahead.
Okay.
That was sarcastic.
Zyzzyx chases after her, understanding they did this.
So what you see
Oh God.
are two very large cages. Each of them have a disgruntled-looking owlbear, or a sleeping owlbear in them. The cages are locked with latches on the outside. And in this direction, you see two more of these druids.
We want to try and get the owl bears out? Or do we want to take care of the Druid?
Let's wait on the owlbears and maybe talk to these druids and see
Yeah,
why
so
there's
he-
owlbears in cages.
These druids are around a small black iron cauldron, which bubbles over on a campfire. There's 4 mossy mats nearby. Describe these.
I would like to
druids.
say that we're probably beyond talk at this point because we've already killed 2 of them, and the other 2
Well-
are probably not going to be happy to see us.
They don't
These
know.
two don't know that.
So one of them is a older woman with a green body paint, although she looks like she is human. The other one is a middle-aged woman with a shaved head, but she appears to have burn marks.
Can I see if they
over
look?
the body.
Can I see if they look maybe distraught if they've noticed that their compatriots are dead?
They just seem to be minding their own business.
All right.
One has a stirring spoon that she's using on the kettle.
There seems to be a lot of women in this place. I'm just pointing it out. Lots of statues of women, lots of druids that are women.
Do the owlbears look like they're in good shape? Like, have they been physically abused, or do they look like they're taken well care of?
They seem to be sleeping peacefully. They look well fed.
Does anyone here speak with animals?
Zyzzyx?
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 Brice, if you're might be muted, I don't know.
No.
They're dead.
Zyzzyx has lost his voice.
I'm thinking if they...
Alright. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
there he is. There he is. It's fine.
It's not on mute, and it's never on mute. It just, for some reason, my microphone, if it doesn't pick up input for like 2 minutes, it turns off, and I just have to go to switch the audio device again. Ah, dumb. Okay,
That sounds great.
it's terrible.
Probably there's some setting in device.
It has nothing to do with push to talk. Don't tell me to try push to
No,
talk.
no.
Oh,
No,
no.
there is in device manager an option where it will put itself into low power mode if it decides it is inactive.
I will look through. Thank you.
Did Zyzzyx speak with animals?
Zyzzyx cannot, but Zyzzyx is really good at handling them.
Damn it. All right, never mind then, because I was gonna see if we could recruit these owl bears to take on the druids, or at least distract them.
Well,
They might be more experienced. I mean, they look older.
Like in her 30s or something.
Well, that's,
Pretty old
you
owl.
know, 20
owl
more.
bear.
No, the humans.
So the one closest to the one on the right here looks like the older one in green paint, covered in green body paint. The other one is the bald head, and they
Can we... Oh, sorry.
haven't really noticed you yet.
Can we see what they're, like, doing with the cauldron? From here, I'm guessing not.
Give me a investigation or perception.
Oh,
Either one.
it's too late. I failed anyway.
It just seems to be something that's like bubbling over. It's like bubbling, and they're probably cooking something.
What do you guys think? Do we actually try to talk to these two individuals? I mean, they're in a green dragon's lair.
I don't think so. I think what I want to do is I want to levitate the cauldron up on top of one of their heads and then cast heat metal on it.
I mean, they're boiling something in it. You probably don't even need to cast heat metal.
It's probably already got heat metal on it.
natural heat metal. Fire.
Can I see if these? Can I check and see how these druids are aligned? Like, are they going to attack us when they see us, or?
Probably.
Do you have, like, detect
You don't know.
evil? Yeah, what are you, a racist?
I'm just trying to
Let's
see
see
if
Unless you have a spell that can determine that, but
I
don't know.
I'm just trying to
Detect
look.
thoughts or something.
No, I'm just saying. Do we have any way of determining if these people are going to attack us on sight?
They attacked me on
They're-
sight.
Oh,
Well, you also... Well, we don't know what you
Attack
did.
them on sight.
I attacked them on sight. It was self-defense.
There was a preemptive strike.
First strike
I
is
mean,
deadly.
So do we
I
just
guess-
want? So do we just want to just do it? Just hit him first?
Yeah.
I guess we should just walk in. I say we should walk in, right? We keep our distance. We stay kind of together back here, right? And we just say, yo, sup? And then see what they do. And if they attack us, we fight back. We can kick their ass.
I'm going in with you. I like this plan.
Are you
Alright.
volunteering?
All right.
Listen, as if I'm not the best talker in this group. Walks up here. She waves her hand and goes, yo, sup?
they all stand. Both of them stand up, look at these unknown people walking into their lair, and
Very
shout,
well-dressed elf.
and shout, "Intruders!"
No!
Oh, they're bad. Kill them! And I want to say I cast Witch Bolt at him, but I'm assuming there's an initiative.
I'll give Veriphys or Zyzzyx, who walked in first, one chance to before combat starts.
I'm gonna
I'll
cast.
try talking
Wait,
down.
oh, that's on a touch.
Could you?
Oh wait, we could try to talk him down.
No, you could probably cast Firebolt at them.
No, Joey
Well, they
was
said
saying
intruders.
Talk him down.
We could talk him down. I'm in my brain.
I'm still covered in their sister's blood. Should be dry by now.
You were like that when we got here.
I don't know what I would say. I'm just like, oh, are you? Excuse me, are you disciples of the Green Dragon Chargal Nagernalith, or whatever its name is?
The dragon Chargal.
She goes, of Chalmigal.
None of us can remember the dragon's name.
Not even
Choglilamatar.
Choglilamatar.
Tangle down, Ben.
Choglilamatar.
The downside
She
of
goes,
So what do they say?
the
say
downside
we're...
of dragon.
Okay, everyone's talking. You know, I'm trying to RP these people. She goes, for followers of Claugiyliamatar, the green goddess, and your intruders.
Oh, the green goddess. That sounds pretty incredible. We're actually lost. Me and my group, we wandered into this swamp. Can you imagine? We're here trading fine silks, and now we're in a swamp.
We have these fine leather jackets for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there's a dragon now. What are your names? She's trying.
Can I help her?
Give me deception.
Can I help her with that?
I don't even know where this is going. I got a +7 to deception. Veriphys lies constantly. Have you guys not picked up on this yet?
No, she kills us every time.
The older woman goes, saying, we don't deal with trespassers. If you turn around now, we won't kill you.
Oh,
Leave.
That's cool. There's like some owl bears in cages. What's that about?
She goes, I shall not warn you again.
Oh, okay. And then Veriphys casts Fireball at her. Or, yeah, Fireball, fuck it.
Well.
Now if I roll high on initiative.
Yeah, now we're rolling initiative.
Yeah.
So that's after Fireball, right?
Well,
no.
We'll see.
No, which is weird funny.
That would have been funny, but...
Oh, ain't that something?
Because if you do Fireball first and then Initiative, I'm like, this is going to be an easy fight.
Nah, I don't think... That would be funny if I rolled really high, though.
I mean, even when I do it... I don't know. Did it put me in there?
I don't know why I have a 0 on mine as well. That's weird, if you look.
Because since people are having problems with initiative, I just add everyone manually.
Oh, okay.
Roll. Alright, let's Lilisula.
Veriphys gets to go twice.
Where are you twice? Get out of here.
Like Jungi Han in Yakuza Like a Dragon. He gets two places in the initiative for turn order.
Seems broken.
Oh, it is, and it's incredible. Jungi gets stuff done, man. He's great.
We'll talk about that later, though. Let's...
Oh, I was gonna tie that into the fact that I'm basically this team's Jungi Han, except that I'm cute.
You're not cute. You're adorable. There's a difference.
Oh yeah. Although Jungi is hot, so you know. Like,
it's also your turn.
It is, yeah. Oh no, I saw Chris.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Doing some stuff out, but anyway, so.
I assume you have a higher agility than. Or Dex than Sally.
Probably.
Lisa's her turn to talk about boys.
Alright. So we're gonna pop around here. That's 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to go here. And then I'm gonna smack the shit out of this one here. And so
the old one? The grandmother?
We killed like a child last time. Like what?
Look, I'm an equal opportunity face smacker. I'll do what I need to, you know? We got a job to do. So The old woman, you try to tug on my heartstrings. Gosh.
She's
All I
probably
know-
baking cookies in that cauldron.
All I know is that these people are in direct defiance against Bronze Mama
Ignore
Dragon.
that.
And yeah, anyway. So yeah, I don't think I'm is this person alone enough to get sneak attacked?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna open strong. We're gonna open strong, real strong. Go sneak attack. Okay. Open strong! What the hell? Oh,
That's a
okay.
hit.
Yeah. There we go.
29 damage.
And then the second one. Or the second strike. There we go. Probably also a hit.
Hit.
Yep.
She's already looking mortal.
Blah. I'll take a step back. Shrug.
I think you use most of your speed to go up there.
really?
You have enough
Okay, hold
speed
on.
left.
Hold on. So that was 5.
You can measure it. Here, look.
15, 20. So I got 20 here.
Okay, 10 more feet. Yeah, okay.
25, 30. So yeah, it works out. I played Hero Clicks for
You're a
12
hero
years! No, I'm just kidding.
Sally goes all the way down here in one move, and then she looks at the old lady. Is like, I played with your sisters earlier. I'm wearing them right now. And then she casts Thunderwave at them.
Going to what?
What's your alignment?
She's casting Thunderwave on them going this way, and if this one right here in front of me fails the check, she gets knocked back 10 feet into the cauldron that's cooking between the two witches, and she'll get extra damage. And also the other one gets knocked back 10 feet if they fail the check.
What?
Dexterity. Well, the one in front of you rolls a 2.
Oh no.
Do a dexterity check or dexterity save?
Save.
Wait, save? Hold on. I don't know why I'm rolling these.
Yeah, why are you rolling it?
I don't know, I'm silly.
They're rolling dexterity. You're rolling dexterity.
I know I was doing that.
I'm telling you she fails, so she gets pushed back. Or is it Constitution? You said Dexterity.
It's like a Constitution save, yeah.
Well, it's the same thing. She rolls a 2.
So that would conclude my turn.
Oh.
What?
So what?
What?
So what happens?
What happens?
Oh, sorry. I was distracted. Oh yeah. So the witch falls into the cauldron, and she is like consumed by whatever they're cooking, and she reaches her hand out in like a death like clawing at the sky, and then slowly sinks into the pot like in Terminator.
Close enough. She gets thrown into the pot, and she starts to be boiled alive by whatever's in there. And she just starts screaming and screaming.
Veriphys turns to Citizen, just goes like, I tried to talk to them. It's not my fault.
What about the other person? Does this hit them too?
It would hit them too, and if they failed, they get pushed back.
Right.
If it's also
You got
lethal, they
15.
just fall back.
She got 15. Does she take half damage?
Yes.
Takes 8. Right. She notices how easily her sister got taken out. She will say a short spell, and she appears like when she takes a step forward, her legs look like they're moving in fast motion. She will take a dash command to run towards the owlbears.
Oh no.
No, does she get an attack of opportunity from me?
She is not.
Yeah, if she's using some kind of spell, she might not trigger.
No, it's just she used a disengage. So.
Oh.
It could be expeditious retreat.
A druid has that?
Well, Joey just said that they used disengage. I was just curious if we all did. Yeah.
It's basically their entire turn, and she can't get opportunity attacks. But that means she can't open the doors either, so she might be in trouble.
Oh, that's handy dandy.
Arrest that child.
I just go up behind her and go. So, you didn't think this through too well, did you?
What's the play here?
No, seriously, was this?
And that's the end of your turn. You're talking too much. No.
Actually, hold on. I just have
to catch my breath.
Actually, you know what? You know what? I hadn't done this in a while. You know, no. Let's not be creative. I'm just gonna come up and whack her with the axe a few times. Let's not be hasty. I just dropped my shield. Like, can I? Wait, I can't drop my shield. That'd be an action, wouldn't it?
Doing something like that would be like a bonus action if you want to drop your shield and then
I just dropped
two.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop my shield, go two-handed on this. I'll be like, boom. What was the plan here?
Since it's like the start of combat, it doesn't really matter. She says, "Old Gnawbones will gnaw on your bones."
Oh no!
Oh no!
And you know what? I'm gonna use reckless attack first. I can do that without raging. It just means she gets it back. Oh, she might be dead. Nope. 24 damage.
Close enough.
Yeah, she's still alive.
Oh.
Yeah, but then the rest of us are gonna do things.
Lemon, please euthanize this child.
Please what?
So 36 more damage.
Aw.
Still alive. At this point, the owlbears have woken up and are like screeching in their cages, butting their heads up against it.
Oh dear. I guess that's my turn.
Lemon.
Yeah, best to stop her before she opens up the cages. Staying out of reach, I'll attack a woman.
It's a little sexist, don't you think?
Yeah. Although maybe sexist not to attack her. I mean, like, so confusing. Yeah, those are gonna hit.
Uh, 22 damage.
She goes, "These were really bad positions to put the cages," and she dies.
I was thinking the same thing. It's like they have to come through the intruders.
Yeah, like, what are these two Druids gonna do? Confront with the party when their backup is where the party came from. Alright. We're technically out of initiative, but what do you want to do about these owlbears?
Probably need to get Zyzzyx up here.
I want to try
calm them down.
Are they going crazy? Are they like all?
Yeah,
wild?
they're just going nuts.
What's happening? I'm so scared.
I say,
scared.
It's okay. I'm trying to just kind of calm down. I don't think we're gonna be making these folks pets anytime soon, but we can at least quiet them up a little. I hope.
Yeah, they actually calm down.
Wonderful. Should we try to feed this druid to them?
Yes.
That seems needlessly cruel.
A little excessive.
Maybe if you let them out, will they attack us?
I don't have speak with animals. I'm animal handling them just to kind of.
They seem calmed down now.
I don't trust anything that's more than 2 animals at once.
That might not be a bad idea. We'll let it out one at a time, gesture at one to just kind of like let it go. And if the other one sees us just letting the one go, if we let him out after he leaves, they might, you know, I don't know.
Super loyal, like trained to be guardians.
That's also true. We should probably just move on, and we'll break the locks on our way out, so that they don't starve to death in the cages.
Oh, how thoughtful. I was gonna say, I'm gonna laugh and you open up that door and they attack you.
As you walk away, they start making a little whimpering sound.
Oh no!
Oh, man!
Like cats on the other side of the bathroom door.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murook just goes up and breaks the lock.
Oh, damn it, Murook.
Both of them or one of them?
Both of them.
Double damage.
They slowly, timidly start walking out. Give a little halfway between a growl and a coo.
A hoot?
A hoot and a coo. And they take a look at the dead druid, kind of push it with their beak, like push the body with their beak, and they let out a sad little coo sound. But they immediately run off down the way here, disappear.
So
we saw.
And they fall down. And then they fall down the 40-foot cliff and.
So if everyone's at this cauldron, can I see what they were like cooking in here? I know there's like a woman in it now.
Yeah, so you take the woman out.
I improve the rest.
Well, I was gonna say if she's still in there, I was gonna have Veriphys like stick her finger in it and like taste it with the person still inside. Be like,
does anyone have a poisoner's kit?
I don't have a poisoner's kit. I have a medicine.
I have a dragon chest set. Anyone want to play some dragon chests?
Well, I mean, I guess that's good enough. How about you, Lilisula, since you're a rogue?
I don't actually.
I can purify food and drink.
Yes.
Give me anyone looking in there, give me a Arcana check.
I'll look in there. Yeah, why not? Ahoy! 14.
I'm curious as Murook doesn't say anything.
Everyone's just looking at this potion, trying to figure it out. It's definitely not food. No one knows what it is.
Interesting. But it's not the same as like the acid outside. They're not like brewing acid, I guess.
You don't know.
Yes, they made the lake one cauldron at a time.
It can be done.
Excuse me for just having a hypothesize.
Just having a hypothesize.
Veriphys does like kind of look at the woman boiling in the pot though, and then looks around and just says, "You know, it's going to be really sad when we all realize that all these people were just being mind controlled and corrupted by a green dragon."
Is that a spoiler?
I don't know. I'm just using my knowledge of green dragons. These are druids, right? I don't know what's going on here. There are just strange statues outside, and it doesn't really seem like what I would expect in a dragon's lair.
I also wouldn't expect druids to lock up creatures either.
Something strange is afoot. A claw? I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, so you guys notice as you look around the room, Murook, Sally, Veriphys, and Zyzzyx, that much like where the druids were before, that there's like a 1-foot patch of land around this area that looks out of place.
look at it closer. What gives? It doesn't look. Does it look like natural? Does it look like it's real grass or whatever?
It looks like it was put above here, like it was hiding something.
I feel around for any traps, like it might be a door, and then if I don't see anything, I move it aside.
You don't notice the trap, but it's like a false. It's like a false spore.
Nice, guys! I found a thing, and then I open
What's in it? Okay.
Darkness.
My old friend. Sorry.
You come to talk again?
I open it.
Right, you open it up, and immediately you see at least a half dozen snakes in there. And as they notice you, a few of them like jump up to bite you.
Ouch! I slam it back shut after they bite me.
It's too late. You take 10 piercing damage.
Ow, my face!
And make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I wish I was closer to Lemon.
You take an additional
58 damage.
million. Take additional 12 poison damage.
Guys, there's snakes in there.
Well, they have scales. You have scales. Talk it out.
It's a little
You
racist,
are
don't you
so
think?
racist.
Listen. I'm allowed to make those sorts of jokes. None of the rest of you
This
are.
this might be fun. Let's do another initiative. And you, Murook.
I'm already there.
Oh, is it working now?
No, I just did it on the thing and it subtracted 1.
Okay. Good alternative.
I did the maths. So are we fighting a bunch of snakes?
Bunch of snakes.
Bunch of snakes.
It's just that guy, right?
There's a snake on my face.
So only one thing of snakes, right?
It is a bunch of snakes.
Alright,
It is
so
a
if I
swarm of...
cast Levitate, would it levitate the entire swarm?
Read me what Levitate does.
Alright, one creature or loose object of your choice. Yeah, so it would only levitate one of the
It'll be
snakes.
one of the snakes.
Yeah, so never mind that. Snake is technically a food. Can I purify food and drink and have them be docile?
I don't think that's how that works. This moss is also technically food.
Yeah.
You can only do that if you eat them first.
Okay.
How about you punch the snakes?
Okay. I am going to go here, and I'm gonna equal it twice.
Okay. Hit. Miss.
What?
It's a miss, sorry.
You went to punch and all the snakes moved out of the way of your fist all at once.
That's like 26, and I got 7 piercing damage, and then I got 25 with the 7 piercing damage.
Oh, I thought that was your second attack. Both of those hit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
The snakes have a higher AC than a dragon.
That what? Makes a lot more sense now.
Right. Veriphys.
What's up?
Does your Yikwa have the returning thing on it, Sally?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
As funny as it would be to
Nervous.
cast something really huge here, I'm just gonna do a firebolt.
Yeah. I mean, the snake's like got last in initiative. I was hoping he'll get at least one more attack. It's a hit.
12 damage.
Most of the snakes are dead, but there's still a few slithering around.
Could you imagine? Oh, fireball! Just blow the whole room up.
It sends them all flying throughout the room.
Alright.
Zyzzyx.
Zyzzyx is just like so surprised at these snakes that jump up and bite him in the face that he instinctually just tries to bite them back.
Nice.
For 5 piercing as well, and he's using his Hungry Jaws ability to gain 2 temporary hit points from doing that.
Oh, cool.
So you like eat one of the snakes.
Yeah.
Slurp it up like a spaghetti.
I do. I spaghetti that snake.
Alright. Lemon?
I'm doing the same thing as Veriphys because I'm not getting near them.
Fireball! Oh.
It's actually a miss. They're just too slippery.
Huh.
It's hard to hit one snake.
That's it.
Lilisula.
Lilisula hopscotches on over here. And I'm just gonna use my coiling grasp tattoo from over here and be like, I'm not gonna touch it with my hands. I'm gonna touch it with my Eldritch tattoo. So they've got to roll, do a DC 14 strength save.
This is about to get bit again.
Rolled a 2.
Oh wow, he's getting hit with 3d6, nerd. There you go.
That's more than enough. The last snake.
I take it you guys never really catch snakes before, have you?
I mean,
Not often.
a mighty battle indeed. Shall we move on?
Oh yes.
So you find
Yeah, what else is in that hole?
several labeled potions.
Oh, nice. Lovely. What did we get here?
Of dragon killing.
Yeah.
I shall add it in.
Those sounds like stuff that would Lilisula would get a kick out of.
Also, for the podcast listeners, it's 3 vials of serpent venom, 2 vials of assassin's blood, and a vial of malice.
I don't know what any of those things do.
We'll just purchase the Dungeon Master's Guide and...
So they protected vials of serpent venom by a bunch of serpents. How coincidental. What creative druids?
You open up the vial and a snake comes out.
It's like a can of snakes. So you open it up and a bunch just spring out.
Well, that did not feel good, I say. And I heal myself for 10. That's not much, but...
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm wiping the oozing venom off my face. Does someone need to suck out the poison?
That doesn't work. All that does is
Does it really not work?
no.
Oh.
Sally wants to take the cauldron of goo and dump it inside, like toss it inside the the acid pit to see if it floats or if it gets eaten up.
Well, it's full of something, isn't it? It's full of lady and broth of some kind.
Yeah, but what's more buoyant? I mean, we need to find some way to sail this ocean of acid.
Oh, we could just walk across this bridge.
Yeah, Sally goes out onto the bridge and is like, maybe we can make a boat out of this cauldron.
It's the only way to cross.
Let me go out on this bridge and dump it in the acid and see if it floats.
I just
So as you go on the bridge to pour out whatever's in here, a little wood woad appears from around the corner and like starts watching you, and then its eyes turn to a little lever on his side.
Oh no!
And he pulls it.
Oh.
And the bridge starts to retract.
Can I use my...
Well...
Sorry.
How quick is it retracting? Could we run across?
Yeah.
Whoever's on the bridge right now, make a dexterity saving throw.
Glad I'm not on the bridge. But unfortunately, does Veriphys count as being on the bridge?
I don't think so.
So, Sally, you're too distracted to make out, to really see what's happening till it's too late. And as the bridge retracts, you fall 20 feet into the goo.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Doesn't she still have those? Doesn't she have those boots?
But I might not react fast enough.
Yeah. No time to react. So let's see here.
Lilisula, after seeing the woodwood, she's like, "Oh, living trees!"
I was gonna say verse. I was gonna have her try to yell at it in Elvish, but it's gone.
Well, I can speak Elvish.
I don't know if it would work, but we gotta get Sally out of the slime acid goo.
It's where she belongs.
So not only do you take damage from in the water, which is 6 damage, you take an additional 20 acid damage.
26 damage.
Are you immune to acid or something, or is that poison?
It's poison and disease. I have immunity to disease, I have resistance against poison.
I rolled a crit for everything there, so you take 26 total damage as you fall into the thing.
Does somebody have a rope? Veriphys goes to try to grab a rope, if anyone has one, and try to throw it down to Sally to get her out.
Murook never gave me mine back.
Veriphys sees it tied around Rook's waist and just grabs it and causes him to like spin or something.
I can't...
You're close enough if you do that.
Rook does not.
If you're fast enough, that you're close enough to the edge that she's able to climb back up. But give me a acrobatics or athletics.
To Sally or myself?
Sally.
Dang.
Yeah, you easily are able to climb up.
As I climb up, the acid on my hand eats away at the rope, but I climb up faster than the rope is getting dissolved.
And action music plays.
Yeah.
Oh,
Initiative.
There goes my rope.
But
yeah,
this
well, you know,
is no longer there.
Great. So wait, so it retracted? Did it like go into the cliff or like raise or what happened? I guess it just.
If you want, I can fly across the gap and hit the switch again.
Yeah.
So it parted in the middle and went downward.
Oh, okay.
Look, it's magic. Just deal with it.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
like
what do we
the-
do now?
I like Sally's idea. Go, Sally. Go, Sally. Fly boots.
She clicks
Just-
her heels
be
together and
careful.
flies over.
Okay. You're using the rules of this right, I assume. You're not just cheating by flying everywhere. Okay.
No, I have a totally like X amount of hours a day of
Yeah.
flight.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I could always shapeshift and fly too. You know, I'm important. I'm important, everybody.
This is why flying breaks the game.
Yeah.
But it is an item. It's not like your innate flying thing. Yeah. You pull the lever and the bridge comes back up.
Yeah, 2 hours of spirits, 4 hours of flying a day.
That you can use whenever you want, just as long as it doesn't go over 4 hours.
Yes. Yep. All at once or in
Okay.
several shorter flights.
Dang.
That's a lot, actually.
Yes, it is.
So you basically
Wow,
see.
Just kidding.
So we all start to go across,
first
and
thing-
Sally looks at the lever and goes to pull it again.
You must all know my pain.
So you as you overlook the acid lake, you see more statues of women, and 2 more when you reach the other side. You see an outlook, which you will assume very correctly is the dragon's lair.
Did we do it to it?
Hope I brought enough quarters.
Oh my goodness. Look at those
So this
cartoon
dragon-
tentacles.
See what area is this? It is.
Let us be glad that she decided not to fly across that gap in the middle then.
What's wrong with the middle?
Oh, this one? Yeah, could you imagine?
Okay, so
I wanted to.
small puffs of foul-smelling green gas emit from the nostrils of a titanic dragon with dull olive-colored scales. The tips of her massive wings and the edges of the frills along her head and spine are black with age beyond mortal reason. She stares at 4 glowing crystal balls, her serpentine face curled into a wicked scowl around a humanoid femur bone poking out between her teeth. Attacking such a powerful being would almost surely result in your demise.
Oh my god. Well, alright, let's get in there. Lilisula, go ahead and pull the boss.
What? Me?
No,
Why?
Oh, you're the one. You're the one.
You can back out without getting an attack of opportunity, you know. Get an early attack.
I like this plan.
No, I'm not serious. What do we do?
Do we risk
She
it?
hasn't turned to you. She's just one by one. She's spending a moment looking into these crystal orbs, and she barely even blinks. She's just constantly pondering her orb.
Or
Can we see anything special about these orbs? Well, from all the way over here, I doubt it, but
You're over.
Yeah, we
You're
should
over
probably
100
move our token.
meters away. Yeah.
I was wondering if,
I
like-
look real hard squint.
they're just orbs from here.
Well, right now we're still on the bridge, so
Yeah.
I definitely
I
can't.
mean, you're over. You're over here now.
Now
Yeah.
you're over here. Yeah.
Well,
Now you're over here.
No! Anyway. I've heard of railroading, but this is ridiculous.
Now you're right by the dragon. Inside her mouth.
Nothing personnel, kid.
GG
Trat.
Referee.
I kind of feel bad that we didn't talk to the druids more now.
Well,
We came in here to fight a dragon. Why didn't we think that the dragon would be a mortal peril? Is there anything else in this? Like, it's a big room. Is there anything else in here besides just the dragon and the orbs?
You're actually high enough that you can see another area.
Dragon.
Her brother, old Chewface.
Dun dun dun.
You can see in this area across over here. C14. More statues, but beyond that, you see treasure.
Oh man!
Do we just ask if we can have it?
Ask
No.
the green dragon if we could have part of her hoard.
No, all of it.
I smack Zyzzyx on the back of his head.
Sally kicks Murook.
Hold on, guys. We can't have this infighting.
While we're back here, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. I feel like this is a fight we're not supposed to win with,
Or even fight.
I think we're supposed to win with thinking.
Oh no!
In character, we're saying this like, oh, the
Should have used the owl bears.
there's these statues all over the place, and I assume that at this point, Veriphys would be thinking like, there must be something with all these statues. I know, like before, we could tell that they're notable in some way, but we don't recognize any of them. Is there anything like particular about them? Like, are they petrified people, or like?
They are very large statues. They're not human.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're very big, and they're all different. I'm guessing, and
yeah, the only commonality that you've seen is that they're all women.
Ladies.
We may be able to get through this with diplomacy.
telling a green dragon not to. Do we know why she wants to attack the town in the first place?
So each one of these statues are about 10 feet tall. This is definitely the dragon you saw attacking Leyland in your vision. Almost down to, instead of Priest Marigold in her mouth, she just has a human bone. But it is the same dragon.
Okay.
So,
but we don't know why she attacks Leyland, though. She just does, for us, as far as we know.
Yeah, he's got a vision from Bahamut.
Let's see here. What do we know about the green dragon? Like, what kind of person is she? Like, we know how bronze dragon mom is, right?
Green ones are usually pretty evil.
That's what we've heard.
Mother Worm said that Gnawbone is a vile creature.
So you could say that she likes to subjugate things, right?
What, are you volunteering?
Well, I mean, if we can set our sights on something that isn't Leyland, I mean, it might not be such a bad idea. Especially
if Phandalin up north.
Yeah, I mean, Phandalin, what have they done to us for us lately?
Yeah, Phandalin's kind of sucks. I heard it got burned down by some terrorists a while ago.
What if, in an alternate universe?
Yeah.
What if the only reason she attacks Leyland is because we attack her here, and then she puts two and two together that we're from Leyland and goes and destroys the village?
It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You might be
And
right.
yeah, those are kind of a beach.
So maybe we should talk to her first.
Send her to that lady's goat ranch, because she's up to no good.
Yeah.
We could send her after the Cult of Talos.
Yes, we're for the
Oh,
Cult of
you know-
Talos. Let her know
you
that.
know
Tell
what
her plus
her-
flag.
No, do we know what her relationship is with the Cult of Talos or any of that?
We don't really know anything about her apart from.
If anything, if any cult she's going to be in contact with and part of, it's more than likely going to be Myrtle.
So we're from the cult of Talos when we fight her.
Just to remind you, you fought a bunch of patrolling undead outside her lair, and the spore room was covered with zombie and ghoul remains.
So
the druids were feeding the spider ghoul parts.
So they're not in league with the undead.
Okay.
Probably not.
So, all right. But one thing I do know is, and I turn to Sally when I say this, we are not going to fight the dragon.
Wink.
There's no wink to this. I'm trying to impress. We cannot win this fight.
Do you think we should go down there and tell her that we... No. I was going to say maybe we could go out there and tell her that we cleared out the undead issue for her, but...
We also cleared out our druids.
Well, not to mention that she could have probably very easily cleared out the undead herself.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're enough of a thorn in her side that if we, let's see.
Speaking of thorns and sides, I'm pretty sure one of us has a dragon-slaying sword.
Oh.
We do, in fact, have a dragon-slaying sword, but
she continues to peer into her orbs, and she looks long and hard into one of them. You can kind of see her head raise a little bit, and she turns in your direction.
Oh, fuck!
Wave.
Well, she knows we're here.
And she continues. She continues. You know, she's still kind of laying down, and she just opens her mouth and lets out a yawn, and then continues to look at the orbs.
She knows we're here, and she really doesn't give a shit. We're not going to go down there and be able to do anything about this creature.
Well, I mean, we can't really fight her. We can't really.
I mean, we could be like. I mean, we.
She's fully expecting us to go down there and do something, and she's, if anything, entertained by the prospect of us bickering about it.
Yeah, because if we go down there, she's gonna turn us into soup.
Well,
Veriphys, you would know, knowing something about dragons, I assume, that an ancient dragon is thousands upon thousands of years old.
Oh, yeah.
Level 10?
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
Maybe add another 0 to that.
There's no numbers higher than that.
What would I glean from knowing that, though? I mean, I assume that I would know that for sure. But
the older a dragon is, the more powerful they are.
Well, for sure.
Well, I was just saying, like you were saying, like she knows you're here and they're not paying attention to you. That's because, like, she probably knows that. And
just
what are these things going to do to me?
Yeah,
we're not
a threat. It's like it's not even like a person in their house dealing with ants. Because, like, a person would be annoyed at the ants milling in their food. This is just like...
We're going to try to lure the dragon onto the bridge, and then flip the switch and have it drop into the acid, killing it instantly.
No, I don't think.
And if that doesn't work, Sally's going to lift it with levitation and dump it in.
So we're going to try and Bowser her?
Yes, Bowser.
I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work.
Well, of course not. Sally
She'd probably thank us for helping her get a bath.
Yeah.
And then she'd melt us with her acid breath.
Yeah.
And then we'd be dead. And the game would be over.
We'd roll our replacements. Then they'd avenge us.
Well, considering that Veriphys and I are probably the two most capable of convincing people of things.
Yes.
I mean, it might not be a bad idea to try the diplomatic approach. Maybe there is something she wants. I mean, dragons are known for wanting things.
True.
And if nothing else, having willing minions, or so she thinks, might help dissuade her from laying desolation to the town that we're helping rebuild.
True enough.
Sorry, what were you saying? I was just staring at this beautiful creature down in this cave.
We were just trying to figure out how we're not going to die today.
Well, I'm going to draft you into helping me talk to the big green dragon to see what she wants. Like I said, it sounds like dragons have things that they want, and maybe if we can offer something to her to maybe avert her willingness to lay waste to a city that we're helping rebuild, I imagine that it wouldn't be a bad...
Well,
I think it's a good idea.
Interesting things to note. Like I said, we don't know why she even attacks the town in the first place. I was just wondering... I mean, okay, options on the table. I don't have a chalkboard, but if I did, let me just tell you. So, options on the table. 1, we attack her.
Like Sally
Probably not going to work. Oh, Veriphys just takes Sally's chalkboard.
Hey,
You could try.
you can't.
Oh, yeah, I could try. I'm rolling a strength check.
What are you rolling a strength check for?
I grabbed
Taking Sally's chalkboard.
Oh.
Oh no, it's a tie! we gotta roll again.
Abby's tugging back and forth against.
She's like, I need this. I'm trying to do a demonstration.
I help Sally.
Oh.
I help Veriphys.
Oh, alright.
But just so you know,
okay, so it's a 17 versus
her shield is a chalkboard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that I knew.
It was only recently that she included a voice box into herself, so she would previously use that to write on.
Yeah, it's literally a chalkboard.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Well, apparently Murook's helping me take a chalkboard away from Sally and Zyzzyx.
I don't like this.
No.
Okay, we don't have to do that.
Let's just talk to the dragon and just be upfront and say that we're here because that there is some prophecy that the green dragon is going to attack a village, and we're going to ask her not to.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Lemon's volunteering.
Listen. I just want to. Before we all jump down there, I just want to say, few ground rules. Talking to a dragon. All right. 1, probably not a good idea to start accusing her of things. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons and egos, don't get me started. We really don't want to be insulting this creature in any way. Don't insult her horde. Don't talk about her minions being worthless, that we just push them over. That's also a good idea. And I don't know, just be pleasant, just be amicable. It's a dragon.
So what you're saying is, me and Sally are gonna stay back here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can come down with us if you want, but if it does eat us...
No. I suspect me and Sally need to stay back.
We should
particularly Sally.
We should probably also let her know about the prophecy coming from on high. I imagine the dragon's kind of, it's something that comes from Bahamut.
Ooh,
it might be
you would think so.
Both me and Ver get this look on her face that says, no, that would be a bad idea.
There's a couple dragons. Bahamut's one, Tiamat's the other. And green dragons don't follow Bahamut.
No.
Ah, good point.
That's the good guy.
Although, maybe we could say there was a prophecy came down that direction. But, if we bring it up, be dismissive about it. Just be like, this Bahamut guy... What does he know? But you know what? Our due diligence. What? Look, listen. You know what? Seat of my pants. We're not leaving this situation. We're not fighting her, so whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Sounds
but
like
I mean, there could very well be something. I think it was fun. You said there could very well be something she wants that we can help her with.
Open minds and hearts.
Lilisula just kind of slides down the hill. She's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, let's go."
Yeah.
All right.
So you start the long walk walking towards this green dragon, who looked enormous in the distance, but she just gets bigger and bigger as you get closer.
That is how
you notice that she snaps the bone in her mouth, flicks it away. She kind of, without looking, takes one of her claws and reaches to a nearby pile of bones. Finds another femur, and uses her claw and puts it into her mouth and begins to chew. You get who is approaching?
I guess it's us four.
Yeah, I'll approach and.
Sally's just coming.
Yeah.
Murook, I thought you were going to stop that.
Would Murook just follow at this point if Sally just goes?
And again, she's not turning her eyes from the orb. She goes, I see you were powerful enough to bypass my traps. Should I be afraid?
Very.
Sally.
Sally,
Listen.
shut up!
I don't know if I'd say afraid. Actually, we just had a question or two. We came from up the coast, and we saw a prophecy that you're about to destroy an entire village.
Okay. She immediately, at the word prophecy,
oh no,
turns her head straight towards you.
But Veriphys just quickly shoves her hands into her pockets and just
say,
prophecy. Yes.
What deity gave you this prophecy?
Oh, let me just tell you, we were contacted by some town officials to go up the coast. They were going to pay us to go look in the shrine, the Bahamut shrine up there, and that guy just fucking saying shit.
Don't utter his name in my presence.
Absolutely. No, my apologies for bringing it up once.
In the petty dealings of man does not concern me. If you come to my lair speaking of prophecy from a false draconic god, then I have no use for you in my presence. And I have no interest in what you have to say.
Well, I mean, you could prove him wrong. You could, if he says that you're so bad, then why not do what he says? And, don't fulfill what he says as a prophecy. I mean, sounds like you really don't like this guy talking about you. Why not make him wrong?
She just spits out her bone like she's about to choke on it and starts laughing. The entire cavern is just filled with this thunderous roaring / laugh and saying, which town did you hail from?
Leylon. I mean, Vandalin.
Shut up!
He goes, Leylon. Here's the funny thing about your prophecy, is that I was going to attack Leylon.
What's in Leylon that's so important?
She turns to her orbs. She goes, because despite the pondering of my 4 mighty orbs, I cannot see who sends these legions of undead day after day.
Cult of Merkel.
That's probably, I'm about to say, it's probably the cult of Merkel. We've had some runs in with him.
Of course it's the cult of Merkel!
Well,
what do you take me for?
You just said.
But She goes, but who? Who is sending them, and where can I find them so I may lay waste to them?
That's a good question. We've been destroying legions of them. I mean, in fact, if you want help,
You know,
she just goes like day after day they assault my lair.
could they be coming from the Mirror of Dead Men?
She goes, she looks into her one of her orbs, and you're close enough now that you see a familiar looking bog in one of them. She goes, they do frequent the Mare of Dead Men.
You know, we have
but every day they attack my lair unrelenting, and I wish to put a stop to it, but I cannot find their location.
well,
They seem to be interested in dragons. We have at one point found out that they're trying to also resurrect a dead black dragon in the mire.
She goes, Chardin of Visriatal?
That's a made-up name.
No, that sounds about right.
All names are made up.
Yeah, she goes, he perished decades ago.
Death is not quite as final as we all wish it would be. Sometimes.
Well then,
Enough time, even death might die.
I pity you mortals who have to deal with him, if he is resurrected.
Oh yes, that would be a problem, but it would be more of a problem if we had to deal with two dragons at the same time.
well, I'm just thinking
Sounds like a
maybe
threat,
we
Murook.
can maybe
That is not a
we
threat.
Maybe we can, look. We don't like these undead either. They've been a real big problem, sailing boats around and just shambling all over the place. Like, I mean, if you want, I mean, we're much smaller. We can get our fingers in more pie. Look, what I'm saying is that maybe we can just take care of these undead for you.
If we
Give me a persuasion.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, thank God it's Veriphys doing it.
Can we give her the help action on this?
I rolled a 4.
Can we please give her the help action since we've all been trying to pipe in here?
Yeah, roll again for advantage.
Okay. Watch me roll like a 1. Oh, it's
For
a
the
19.
love of God, Kim.
Oh, thank you.
She goes, I was going to force the wizards and residents of Leylon to put an end to this madness. By force if I had to, but you say you're enemies of this cult of a death.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, they gotta go.
Hate him.
Perhaps I can make use of you.
We are known to be
It's
useful.
All day.
Just randomly she just lets out a yawn. Search my forest for the one leading these assaults, and bring me his corpse dead, his body either dead or alive.
Considering I'm involved, is probably going to be alive, so you can deal with him yourself. Meeting out justice.
Preferably, preferably alive.
All right.
So I can add to my bone collection.
So we're just gonna go. I'm guessing they're behind you somewhere, maybe.
What?
I don't know.
Behind her?
Do you mean this tunnel?
She looks behind there and she says, that is a room where I keep various maps. You're free to look if you agree to help me.
Oh,
All
absolutely.
I know,
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's. I mean, we have.
all I know of the one doing this, I've heard heard the name. I've heard the name. Venantha Cruelhex is the one that leads them. But they escape my pondering eyes.
With Sally's knowledge arcana, could she see what these glowing orbs are, and whether or not she could fix them, so that way the dragon could find what they're looking for?
It may not be the dragon not being able to find them. Maybe the person who's not being found has something on them that makes them not want to be found.
There are things that allow you to prevent scrying.
Yeah.
Oh,
For crying out loud.
Yeah.
So you notice that there's 4 crystal balls, each on a 10-foot pedestal.
I have a question. It's been killing me. What's all these statues everywhere? Just asking the dragon.
her had one of the few things that diverted her attention from her orbs. She turns to these statues on this little cliff face, and she goes, "You took notice of my collection of women."
Oh, well,
Strong,
absolutely.
Powerful women.
They're very beautiful, just like yourself, I should add.
They shape the course of history of my collection, the women of my collection.
Interesting.
In my younger days, I would often transform myself to one of you, to a human woman, and I would involve myself in the affairs of mortals. It was entertaining.
Fantastic pastime, I assume. Not that I'm an expert or anything.
Especially when you crossbreed with the humans and have your bloodline take over the throne.
Sally, stop giving the green dragon ideas.
Or how about stop insinuating that the green dragon is breeding with humans?
That too.
I don't know what's worse.
I imagine at this point Murook is covering Sally's mouth, but
Yeah.
I don't know, just like
doesn't have lip. It's not preventing her from being spoken.
Yeah.
She points to the nearest statue here, and she goes, "This one, it's one of my favorites. Anastraza Saloon Silverhand. A powerful warrior and mage. One of the 7 sisters chosen by Mysteria, the god of magic. But she died at the hands of 3 of my sisters."
3 of your sisters, other dragons.
Other dragons, yes.
So she fake died.
No, she
What?
died.
I thought
Died.
she
It was
was
a glorious
Alec-
battle. I like this one the best because dragons killed her.
There you go.
Alright, so let's go and
I
help
like
ourselves.
when dragons kill things.
It is, I mean, it is quite a way to go.
Like biting someone's head off and spitting the head overboard.
I mean, I'm not an expert.
I think if there's anybody in this room, you would be one of 2 experts.
I mean, maybe, but that's not the point.
Okay, so you said your map room was out this way. I point over to the cave. This cave here.
She goes, "I have acquired murals of the Sword Coast and various cities. I like to look at them from time to time."
It's good to know about your whereabouts and what's around you. So, okay, well, I'm gonna go and take a look per your invitation, and let's take a look and see where we can get some leads on where to find the people who are assailing you.
And then put them in the. And then put most of them in the ground and then bring the head back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what? Actually, give me a persuasion check to see if she allows you kind of into her lair. I know she invited you earlier, but let's see here.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I was aiming for. She goes, make it quick. Don't touch anything.
Oh, I won't have to. I have a photographic memory, she says, lying through her teeth.
I have a photographic memory.
What's a photograph?
a pictographic memory.
Veriphys just hangs that out here while you guys go in there and do things.
So
hangs out with the dragon. Oops.
Hangs out with the dragon.
Gong. The north and south walls of this cavern form almost perfect circles around 20-foot diameter patches of moss. The oddly glowing green growth on the north wall depicts a city map, and the south wall displays a map of the Sword Coast. Both maps are dotted with draconic runes.
Sucks that Veriphys isn't here. She'd read all this.
First out here chatting with the green dragon. She's having a time.
Okay, and so would it be all right if I? Let's see. If there, I guess I could probably have Sally come in and be helpful.
No, she isn't. I'm carrying her away.
I want to help.
Okay, because if Sally is able to recall information the way that she does, it might be helpful to have this information at hand. So Lilisula comes on out here.
As Sally walks forward, Gnawbone goes, "You are a pretty golden thing.
Darn tootin'.
You would make a nice addition to my horde."
Make me one of your guardsmen and let me kill as many undead as I want. You got yourself a deal.
As she is saying this, I'm trying to pick Sally up and drag her away.
Drag her to the map room, or where are you going?
Yeah, to the map room.
No, south, away from the dragon.
I killed some of your witches earlier and spiders. They're not that. You need new staff.
Okay. Gosh, who is smart enough to look over these maps with me to be able to... Murook, I imagine, is wise and probably can remember things, and Zyzzyx is a king, so, like, who wants to come and help?
Sally's proficient in cartography, so she would be the natural to look at
Sally
maps.
is sadly enough our map expert.
Lemon, we're gonna need the map expert to come and look at the maps. I'll keep an eye on her. It's okay.
All right, don't let her attack anything.
And like, I assume Sally is quite a bit shorter than Lilisula, because Lilisula is only 5'1", and she like beckons with her hand to like hold my hand while we're looking at these things. So I just kind of keep track of her. So I've got her by the hand, like hold like the same way you would be chaperoning a child.
You're describing this like a drought, aren't you?
I looked at Murook and just I miss when all she had was the button.
Yeah.
We all do, but it's done, so we just have to live with it. I wouldn't make her go back to just the button.
So Joey, is there anything you want us to roll while we're in here to investigate, to look for points of interest, or anything that could be clues to help us find where these jerkwads are coming from?
So there's a on the map of the Sword Coast, you notice there are little runes. Well, first give me a perception check.
Yeah, sure. And then I might ask Sally to write on her chalkboard for the runes so that Veriphys can read them later.
Okay.
I don't know why Veriphys just isn't up there. She's
yeah.
So
obstinate.
Also, give me a history check.
Oh, okay. History check. Alright. Oh, poor Lilisula, she's an idiot. Yeah.
Is Sally there?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, Sally. I'm holding Sally's hand.
Okay, so Sally, you recognize it from your studies that the mural of the city is the city of Waterdeep, and Lilisula, as you're looking at the map of the Sword Coast, it's a very, very nice mural, and you notice that there are little runes next to the cities of Waterdeep, Luskan, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter, and Elturel. And there's none by Leylon. Or Phandalin.
Of course, Phandalin.
Stupid, sexy Phandalin.
Yeah.
Sally, can you write these down so that we can show these to Veriphys, see what she says about them?
Yes, Sally's writing them down right now on her chalkboard.
You're fantastic. Thank you, Sally. Alright. Have we gotten basically everything we can, at least as far as we can tell, out of the room, or out of the maps?
Yeah, you didn't notice anything else.
Okay, cool. Alright. Then I'll lead Sally on out.
Veriphys is chilling out here, and stands here awkwardly and like runs a hand back through her hair and just is like, "So, is there any other, notable dragons hanging out in these parts?"
Thank
She
you so
says,
much, Sally.
I heard, it's like I heard rumors of a white dragon who was making roost on the peaks of Icespire,
Good times.
but was quickly dealt with.
Oh, those
Fact.
white dragons.
Yeah, it's white dragons. Who cares?
She says, she goes, I care very much about the white dragons.
He was my boyfriend.
Oh, well.
Any who serve Tiamat are friends of mine.
Well, I don't know
Be
anything
loyal
about
to
that.
Tiamat.
I guess I was just curious.
I actually watched the battle that slayed him
Oh.
upon one of my orbs, and
Huh.
oh, how interesting. And she looks at Zyzzyx and Murook and Sally.
Yes.
I thought
very
you
interesting.
looked familiar.
Ah, well. Hey, this way you know we get things done then.
He was a foolish young dragon with ambitions to rule over the Sword Mountains.
Which I don't think would
Foolish
probably...
ambitions, if you ask me.
Probably somebody else would have come along and stomped him flat for doing that.
Okay.
We just got there first.
I think now, if you're done here, I suggest you go searching.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was about to collect my companions and we were about to get going. But I wanted to leave something with you, just as a sign of us coming back, because it is an item that means an awful lot to me, and I'd like to come back for it. But I just want you to hold on to it for me, okay?
Pushes Sally forward.
No, I don't push Sally forward. I pull my dagger of venom out of my bag, and just kind of lay it at her feet like a this is a very special dagger to me, and so this is just my guarantee that we'll be coming back with your
Make no mistake, I don't care if you return or not.
Oh, well then I'm still just
So
gonna
if
give
you are
this
making
promise.
this dagger for an offering, as an offering to me, I shall take it as a sign of gratitude for me not devouring you whole.
Okay, that's also acceptable to me too. But like Lilisula doesn't even skip a beat. Well then we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out and find the people who are responsible for most of this mess here, so that you can keep your peace and not have to pore over those darn orbs all the time trying to find out where they're coming from.
She immediately slams her clawed hand again, like onto the dagger on the floor, and moves it over to the pile of bones, and just immediately almost forgets about it, and then looks at her orbs. So remove that from your thing.
Inventory real quick.
Congratulations, you're not getting that back, and you're probably not getting anything for it.
That's all right.
Well, we'll see what happens.
It's not like I was using it at all. Like it's not like.
Well, anyways, let's leave her to her stories, and we'll go take care of the undead, so they stop bothering her.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, guys, let's get the hell out of here. She like as Liz was passing Zyzzyx like just under her breath. She's like, "Oh, let's get the heck out of here!"
Why are we still here? Let's go.
Veriphys hesitates.
Veriphys makes sure Sally goes.
Oh, right. Wait. Well, what's Sally doing?
All right, Sally's drawing right now.
Oh. Veriphys pats her on the head and is like, okay. Veriphys herself kind of hesitates and walks backwards a bit, hands in her pockets before she turns around and comes with the rest of the group, thinking to herself,
"How do we live? How do we survive that? I shouldn't be alive right now."
That's not what she's thinking. She's got other shit going on in her head.
Sally, we really need to have a talk about what diplomacy is.
Yeah, I like to kill things. That's funny. All right, so where are we gonna go from here, Joey?
Do you want to search for this undead guy?
Yeah, the chapter.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of you is going to lead the search. And I want you to make, as you spend the rest of the day looking, a survival check.
Uh-oh.
Who's gonna make the survival? Who has the highest survival?
I have a 1.
I have a 1.
I have a +7 to survival.
I got a +4 to survival.
Oh my god.
Probably should be Zyzzyx, like, helping us look.
The king.
Yeah, Lilisula spends a lot of time in the cities. She hardly knows how to live out in the woods anymore.
I didn't say everyone. I said who's ever leading.
Oh, then it probably should be Zyzzyx then. He is Zyzzyx.
Well, he doesn't have. He's out of practice. He has people that do this thing, the work for him.
He rolled a 10.
Yeah, he's a king of 3 different people now.
So you spend guys. So you, Zyzzyx, you spend the entire day looking, and you end up finding nothing. So everyone can basically take a long rest if you just want to sleep for the night and make camp.
Okay.
Probably safest.
Yep, done.
Alright.
We should probably find this individual, though, because if we don't, she'll probably destroy Leyland anyway.
We got that long rest. Let's go back and destroy her. We got all our spell slots back.
No.
No.
I mean, these guys have been terrorizing more than just the dragon. They've been terrorizing a lot of folks. It may actually be a weird way to make everything work out if we just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Should we just search again?
Who's leading the next check?
I guess Sally will lead the next check.
Oh, okay.
Volunteer. Bad check.
Oh wow, how are we going so badly?
Why?
You spend another day. You find nothing.
Why would we follow Sally?
I was gonna say we should have Zyzzyx do it again. Is there a way to get him an advantage on this? Jeez.
We can help him.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. He should get advantage since he looked once already. He should know the area by now.
How repeated attempts work. It gets easier.
Let's leave it to the two trackers, Zyzzyx and Lily.
I'm
Yeah,
not
we're
a
on
tracker.
day 3 now.
Oh,
Hey, you're a bounty hunter. You should be good at it.
No, I'm good at it in the cities, but not in the woods.
If so what I'm also gonna do is use a wild shape to turn into a mastiff to help me with tracking and sniffing and things.
Okay.
Do they have keen senses?
They do. They have keen hearing and smell.
I can't smell.
Do it with advantage.
Awesome.
Thank goodness.
One of these should be C.
Yay!
20. There we go.
Bark, bark, bark.
If you took us, y'all avoided the random undead encounter table because you rolled so bad, ironically.
We were so off track.
We couldn't find them.
How is it that sucking has made us good at this?
Yeah, it says
Have you
if
watched
you
it?
fail by 5 or more, then you don't find anything. But if it's 4 or less, then you run into random undead. But I don't know if I would have ran it since we're on a little time schedule. But a strange mystical chanting in a dry crackling voice, and a rank smell come from a small clearing ahead. In the center of this area, a robed woman in gray, cracked skin, and red points of light where her eyes should be, waves a wand made of bone in the air. And as soon as you approach, these ghostly figures start to rise from the ground. And she quite obviously knows that you arrived in the clearing. And she goes, well, it seems this batch won't make it to the old worm's lair. I'll have to use them to deal with you!
Oh no!
On the plus side, we've saved you some time.
Alright, let's roll for initiative.
Hooray!
I do not like her choice in icons because I know what that is.
I like her eyes.
Dang, son, that's a nice roll. Hey, it's still a 19.
I don't like any of this.
Oh. Of course, our key figure of against the undead goes last.
Yeah, I mean, you get to wait until the end of the round before I get to use the ability Joey hates the most.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a race to survive. We got to survive at this point.
You gotta be strong and you gotta be fast.
And you gotta be fresh from the fight.
Right, let's some cool battle music.
This is probably the last battle of the game.
The final boss.
There's that song from Shang-Chi's soundtrack, Run It. The song that plays when he's fighting on the bus. There we go. That's the one. Just kidding.
Yeah. All right, Sally, you're up first.
All right.
Zyzzyx, are you still a mastiff?
No. When we came into this area, no.
Okay. Does that mean you can't turn to an elemental?
It does, but that's okay. I got some cool stuff.
Well, how many wild shapes you got now that you're like level 10? Do you have 3 or 2?
2. You never ever get more.
Okay. Yeah. It takes 2 to do an elemental.
Well, you know what? If we didn't have that advantage, we still would be looking. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sally, your turn first.
Right. So Sally rushes over to this spot between all of them, and then she flips a switch on herself, and like all these speakers come around her, like super subwoofers. And then from her point outwards, going 10 feet, she casts Shatter at level 3. And she has to do a, I guess, strength check, or to be a DC Constitution save, because she's right in the middle of the whole thing.
So, who gets hit?
Everyone, including Sally, but if Sally makes the strength check, she gets...
Oh!
Yes.
Yup.
Sally absorbs all the damage, and doesn't take any damage.
That's a good one, Lemon.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them failed but one.
Oh.
So that's 16 damage.
Mm-hmm. And if the creature is made of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal, they have disadvantage on their saving throw. But they're undead, so they're organic matter.
What is this thunder damage?
It is thunder damage, yeah.
Oh.
That's never a good sound.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, then let me...
They really should have called it sonic damage, just to avoid confusion.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't take as much damage as you thought they would have.
Aww.
Being ghost and all. This one only takes 4. And this guy and the boss one gets a 2. Con save. Takes 18. Or 16. Okay. Lilisula.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna come... Wait. Okay. 20 feet here. And then I'm gonna unload on this one here.
Okay.
My,
Guitar speed.
Oh, wait, you know what I should do instead? I'm sorry. Since I haven't rolled anything yet. So I'm going to stop here, right next to Murook. And then I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. So, hold on a second. One second. Limited use. Fairy Fire, where are you, dude? Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. And so, and that was, a 20-foot cube within the range outlined in blue, green, or violet light, my choice. And we'll be violet because, you know, Lilisula's purple. And so, it's a DC 15, or Dex save 15. And so...
20-foot cube, so who's it hitting?
Yeah. Let's see, who is the biggest part of the clump? It's probably you, because that'll hit. That's 5, 10, 50, 20, 5, 10, 50, 20. 20-foot cube.
If you start at the one to the bottom left of Sally, you can get all but 2 of them.
Yeah. Is it this one here?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, cool. Then that's who I'm going to be casting it on. There we go.
Right there.
Yep.
It's dexterity.
Dex DC 15. So
Sally have to make the check too?
I can do it.
Hold on a second. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in white. But
That sounds like yes.
Oh, deck save?
I think so. Yeah. Looks like it. Sorry about that, there, Sally. But it's just it just makes it so that things when you're in the cube, you get advantaged on you. That's all.
So the red plus means you have advantage against them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one... also for this guy. They start to glow bright pink, even though they already are.
Brighter pink.
Brighter pink. Right, Zyzzyx.
Alright, Zyzzyx looks over at Veriphys and like just locks eyes and casts Summon Draconic Spirit.
Oh. Why are you looking at me?
You know why.
And plops it out in the fray here. Let's see. I can put
This
it.
is new.
No one's seen this before. From
Is this-
Zyzzyx.
Oh, is this when you carved that jade? That's what that was.
Yeah. So, yeah. I have to make some choices here. We are going to choose a metallic dragon. I don't know what these are, so I can't metagame it. So I see the resistances, and I'm gonna take resistance to poison as well while it's out. And
Metallic would be like green, red, blue, and white, and black, I think.
That's chromatic.
Right.
Metallic could be like bronze, gold. I think if it's poison resist, I think that's copper. I don't remember.
Well, this one actually has resistance to acid.
Oh, it's
light, and poison.
Both of them do. Yeah.
Oh,
So
right.
is this all of them? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but Zyzzyx is going to can only share one of those with him while he's out. Yeah, so that is going to be Zyzzyx's action. We're going to see what happens with that for a little bit. And he's going to back up, kind of out of range from anything. And then the dragon takes its turn immediately after mine. And with reading this, and he's got multi-attack, he uses a breath weapon every turn, which is awesome.
Whatever.
So, it makes a cone, so it's just destructive energy, it says. So in a 30-foot cone, and unfortunately I don't know if that's going to get Sally, because I'm going to just go kind of right in front of me trying to get these four.
Looks like Sally's right outside of it.
Sally's a double up.
1, 2. It'll hit Sally.
Alright.
30
Sally
feet.
can take it.
Yeah, a 30-foot cone.
If I still have that graphic. The graphic.
Do you have a cone graphic?
Yeah.
If I can't block Sally, then I might as well position myself better. Okay. Sorry, Sally. You can handle it.
That was a
Or
tough
are you
one.
doing it from... okay, are you doing it... Are you doing it from this angle?
I am going to do it from this angle.
Okay. 30 feet. That. I think it's going to hit. I think it might hit everyone but the boss and the thing.
It'd be okay.
Thought I had a Thank you. Let me check my library real quick.
And there's got to be a triangle somewhere.
Wallfire. Here. Sorry, we'll just take a minute. I had to use a. Yeah, that makes sense. It's gonna hit everyone.
But look, see, it goes in and around Sally. See?
Oh yeah.
It might not hurt me if I save.
It's not that powerful. It's because it can be used every turn, so it's not that powerful apparently.
That's
so
only
we're gonna
D6.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the breath weapon, so it does the 30-foot cone. You dex saving throw, 15.
15, okay. I can make that.
But again, it's only gonna be 9 on a fail, or half that on a success.
I absorb all of the residual with my shield because I have shield mastery. If I save, if I do cast the dex save, so it's not hurting me at all.
Well, very useful. Whoa!
That's really big. Oh my god.
I said it wasn't that powerful.
Oh, the green dragon followed us.
I was gonna say, it looks like Charter Lockerlawn has come.
Have that as the screenshot for the session.
Clickbait.
That was awesome.
I at the very least want that as a screenshot.
It's too late now.
Oh no, I meant from your footage.
Well, there you go.
You hit everything but one of the little spectre guys.
Awesome.
So okay, what do they roll?
DC 15 Dex save.
Yeah, let's do the big guy first. Rolls a 20.
Takes 4 damage.
So it's not that powerful.
No, it is only 2d6. It's not an actual dragon, it's a draconic spirit.
3, 4, 5. Right. 3 of them fail.
9 on the fail. 9 damage.
God. So sorry, Sally.
Oh, I passed my dex save. I get no damage.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, they don't seem to take as much damage as you think they would.
The Lilisula and Sally holding hands is adorable.
I actually get to pick every time what damage this is.
Every time you summon it, or every time you use the breath?
Says it takes a damage of a type this dragon has resistance to, which is that list of 5.
Then it would be acid damage.
Or cold, or fire, or lightning, or poison.
Well, I mean, in this case, it would be acid. You're shooting acid, right?
Okay, but what I'm saying is that it sounds like every time I use the breath weapon, I get to choose what it is. Of the list of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison.
Sounds like my chromatic orb, but in breath form.
No, interesting.
So you choose resistance when you summon it, right?
No, so what you choose is whether it's chromatic, metallic, or gem. And if you pick chromatic or metallic, this spirit has resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison.
Oh, so it's all of them.
All of these.
Okay, so yeah, you get to choose from that list. Okay, I think that makes sense.
And it sounds like it does it
Okay.
every time.
Yep,
Cold.
I think
is
you're
what
right.
they're- I like cold damage. They're doing cold damage to this one. But it's still not much.
Well,
Although, what? Not much individually, but overall, that was a high damaging turn. And plus, I'm going to, what do I use? Your spell attack modifier. Use Rend. I get to cast that twice, and that's a melee attack, so on the one closest to me. A 17 and a 26.
It's both hit.
So a 5 and an 8 piercing damage. 13 piercing damage.
Are these attacks magical?
It does not say so. It is a spirit. Let me see what it says anything about it.
It's regardless, that's going to kill it, but I'm actually curious about that.
It does not say that his attacks are magical, and since they only do what they say,
usually it does. So if it is, so if it doesn't say it, they're not magical.
Yep.
Sally, this specter will try to give you a death's kiss.
Uh-oh.
9.
Misses.
Not a 9 will miss you. So this guy isn't dumb. He sees you conjure this dragon Zyzzyx.
but I ran so far away.
You're so far away.
But I ran.
Alright, Sally, you do get an opportunity attack. That she goes by.
Alright, I will, I can only hit it once, right?
Just once.
Right. Iglod time. Missed.
That was a hit, actually.
Oh, wonderful.
Hooray for spellcasters being weak.
She is going to cast Blight on you.
Oh.
On Zyzzyx.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. What's my roll?
I think you will have to roll, but hold on. Do a Constitution saving throw.
Of course. A 10.
Do you get advantage on that?
Not if it's just to resist the spell thing. The spell's effect, no.
Alright, you feel a necrotic sickness deep in your gut.
No, it don't feel good.
Yeah, ew, gross. And, okay. You will take... Tap, 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 tap.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a big spell. I just actually took it this long rest.
38 necrotic damage.
Ooh, alright. And what's 38 divided by 2?
16?
15 plus...
No,
18.
hold on.
17.
Yeah.
Wait,
38 divided by 2? Be 15 divided by... Or be 15 plus 4.
19.
No,
Yeah.
I have to make it 19, or else my dragon goes away.
Does it go away, or does
It's gone.
Or does...
Concentration.
It
Yeah,
goes
what is
away.
it?
It's not
Okay.
It's not like the other one.
Dragon...
It's not like my superior dragon form.
Yeah.
You do make a good point with that.
But now she's kind of foolishly out in the opening here.
Oh, hey, Murook.
I've got another 5th level slot. I'll just bring it back.
Since I've got advantage on her, you know what? I'm gonna cast at a 2nd level chromatic order. I don't get to do it that often.
Three and 5.
Let me make sure I get this right. I'm going to do. You know what? Just because it's thematic, I'm going to use 4d8. 4d8. Does a 20 hit?
Yeah, 20 hits.
15 acid damage.
Okay. Is it acid or?
It's. I get to choose, and I chose acid.
Okay. Yep, we all see you measuring. Veriphys.
Veriphys shouts, "Hey, Sally! How do you feel about fire?"
Sally gives a big old thumbs up.
Veriphys casts Fireball at level 5, centered on this asshole right here.
Oh my god!
Sally gets her shield ready.
Does it hit everyone but the boss?
It should hit everyone but the boss and Sally.
Or Sally.
Okay, it's still probably enough to. Okay.
So it's how much?
Don't even have to roll. It kills all the specters. Just vaporize.
Well, I think they do have to roll. A saving throw of some kind, dexterity saving throw.
I think he means that even if they save, they would die.
Oh,
even with the resistance, even if they fail.
Shit.
Wow.
They're all
no.
And I think so is Sally.
Oh no. Well, it's a what's the save on it? I don't even know. I'm
16.
terrible. 16. I'm sorry.
All right.
I got a cure wounds. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Can you do something to? Okay, you take 38 fire damage unless you use whatever you can to.
I tried doing a dex save, and I failed the dex save, so I have to take the full force of the damage.
Okay, I thought you had something that could negate it, or you have to pass it. I guess. Okay, you take 38 fire damage. The metal on your body just starts to glow red hot.
She got Super Saiyan.
We got cure wounds. You'll be fine.
38.
Plus
I took care of that.
3 elemental affinity damage.
Oh. 11.
So basically, you rolled max damage on just about.
No, the max damage would have been 60. It's 10d6.
Yeah, you're right. So, well, that's all the specters taken care of.
Just a nuclear bomb goes off in the middle of the woods.
This undead-looking lady is like raises up her robe to try to block herself from the blast, and when she looks again, all of her ghosts that she just raised are all dead.
There's a crater and Sally's just standing in it.
Yeah.
Alright, first off, his maul starts glowing with fire, and smacky smack. Wow, one of them misses.
They both miss.
Oh.
Sorry.
Problems.
You're like blinded by the fireball blast. Sally.
Alright. If I punched and I'm still like smoking hot, do I get it like extra damage from
No.
punching it?
No.
Okay.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I do
Alright.
remind
It was
Sally
everything-
that we need this guy alive.
Although this
It was
does,
everything. It was everything but your hands.
Oh shoot.
sadly, this has given Sally a new idea for future battles, where she is going to cast heat metal on herself and then try to hug them.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Alright, so I'm gonna go over here, and I'm going to attack twice with my Ikwa.
Okay. Hit. And another hit. Alright, Lilisula.
Okay. How is that lady looking?
It is looking bloodied.
Okay. Well then, I've still got friends.
Normally this thing would have a group of minions protecting it.
I'm sorry.
I wonder where they went.
No, you're not sorry.
I've been wanting to do that since like the start since I joined.
And so Lilisula, just slinks on up, and we're going to get pretty violent with this lady.
And you know what's stupid about evocation wizards? They can not hit allies if they want to, if they're inside a blast like that.
Oh yeah.
I could have picked up Careful Spell as a sorcerer, but just didn't. I picked up an Empowered Spell instead.
No, this is Veriphys.
So, was she affected by dancing lights? Or not dancing lights, fairy fire?
Yes.
She has advantage. Yeah.
Oh. Alright.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a hit.
Alright. Let me.
A fine hit.
Fine hit.
So that's the first hit there. So I'm gonna be putting putting a little bit of, wait, hold on, did that, okay, that rolled the slash damage. So let me roll my my stealth, or my sneak attack real quick, so that I can, so there's a sneak attack damage on that as well. Pew.
Huh?
How's that looking?
Still alive.
Alright. Well then we're gonna give it the old college try. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna smack her again. Smacking her again. Oh shit! Oops. Well, I rolled with advantage. There's a lot of numbers you're gonna have to ignore. That 20. That 20 you're gonna have to ignore. But it's 8.
15 hits.
Yeah. And so. And how's she looking?
Pretty bad.
Oh, good.
I'm so sorry, Joey.
And then I hopscotch back a little bit here. Hop, hop.
It evens
Right,
out
Zyzzyx.
that most likely those ghosts had very bad status effects, but in downside they don't have much hit points.
Yeah, they don't have much.
Plus, they were probably resistant to a bunch of damage types because
They
they're
wanted to
ghosts.
kiss me.
Yeah, they seemed resistant to elemental stuff.
Well, that's an easy. We know a way to overcome that. Just
Is that the area of effect?
Yeah,
I don't know what.
not the whole area. So I am casting Call Lightning.
There's
so
just
I
one
think-
thing alive, just to make sure you know.
Well, I would miss any attack that isn't a spell. So basically, this person is making a dex save DC 15. And
Does it hit everyone or just who you choose?
just it hits 5 feet from everything within. Oh, it's gonna hit either Sally or Lemon. It looks like.
I can take it.
It hits everything within 5 feet of a point of my choosing. Which,
Oh, why do you make it so big?
well, because it can hit anything within a 60-foot radius.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, sorry.
So I'm gonna hit that point, so I can make sure that I hit Sally.
Sally?
Hit by every single attack this round. I want to hit for a perfect score. So
Alright, so
dex save DC 15.
DC 15, okay. Sally can take it.
remember when you had that Talos marking on your forehead? Where you got disadvantage on some lightning attacks?
Aren't you glad we got rid of that?
This guy rolls a 22.
Oh.
Well, still gonna take 3d. I don't know what this one is over here. Oh, I know why. But he's gonna take 5 lightning.
Okay.
And
Cole's accusatory is like, Brice, why is that so big? Why is that area effect so big? Are you
guys
trying to
now
cheat?
Under a storm. And Sally, you saved, so you don't take anything, right?
None.
Your shield thing. Perfect.
This undead lady looks up and goes, surely the agents of Talos aren't near, interrupting our plans.
I look around scared. Oh no, Talos is here!
Everybody run.
Yes, we are Talos. It's not a false flag.
She's gonna turn to you again, Zyzzyx. Do the exact same thing.
Oh no!
Hi. Save me! Alright, Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Ooh, another fail.
Did you know that the new spellcasters in the new book don't use spell slots? They just have, like, you can use this X number of times a day?
Interesting.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's falling back to 4th edition.
Yeah. Some things already do that, but, like, this guy has, like, a full-on spell slot list. Alright. So again, it's like, you feel a nauseating blight within your stomach. I should have done it at 5th level. That would have been fun.
Is it an extra
Why
one
not?
you
I'm
need?
doing it at 5th level.
Oh my god. Just we're blowing up lightning, there's fireballs going off. Just do it.
9d8. I think you lose concentration when you fall unconscious.
Yeah.
You take 42 necrotic damage.
That'll do it.
That's as bad as if you ate Veriphys' cooking.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
Somebody save Zyzzyx.
We all know she doesn't cook anything. She just eats it. Just.
Alright, Murook.
You know, Murook was thinking about what he was going to do, and maybe he was going to cast another chromatic orb, but then he sees that she's knocked down. Zyzzyx is like, nope, time to go, and just rages.
I will say she's almost dead. You may not have to.
Oh, he's doing it anyways.
Okay.
And guess who's back to visit, friends?
The Flump.
Mr. Flump.
It's Flumpy, it's Flumpy.
He just appears and goes.
Dark.
He's just like, hey guys.
Hey kids.
Wait, where's Mr. Flump?
You don't have to worry about putting it there, but just How much damage?
Oh, hold on. Just ignore that one.
The multiplying.
I mean, I appreciate Mr. Flump. Don't make no mistake.
It is. Must make a dex saving throw or take 1d6 force damage at the end of the turn.
Okay.
But then Murook just walks up and then just begins just wailing into this guy like it.
She smiles as you approach her. You do an advantage. That's a hit. And she just laughs as the axe goes into her chest.
Oh, I'm not trying to kill. Oh no, killing her would be a kindness. I am knocking her flat out.
A non-lethal stabbing.
Oh, the first one you do, but the next one non-lethally. You can't. She knock her in the side of her head, and she falls to her knees. It just starts laughing, and laughing and laughing and laughing. Just goes. Seems you have bested me.
You think it was a kindness that stayed my hand, madam? Oh no. Oh no. You will very shortly wish for death when you see what a fate awaits you.
While that, I'll say Veriphys does a distance spell and casts a level 4 Cure Wounds at Zyzzyx.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me actually cast it so we can see.
You gotta come over and touch me for Cure Wounds.
Nah, not with distance spell.
Oh.
I can cast it at 30 feet. Look at that.
Oh.
She looks at you, Murook, and goes, "So what shall you do with me, hero of Leylon?"
Oh, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to take you to someone who wants to say hi. Maybe you've heard of her? She's this lovely green dragon right across the way. You've been sending her so many lovely gifts. She just wants to show you some gratitude.
It's been my crusade to cause her torment, and I welcome death.
I don't think she's gonna give you death, sweetie.
Oh no! I don't think that's gonna be in the cards for you. We truss her up, tie her up in some rope, and then we haul her ass back to.
In addition to tying her up, Lilisula is gonna use her tendril to also lead her along like a leash.
Don't forget to duct tape her mouth so she can't cast spells and things.
You're gonna tie her mouth shut.
I'll have the end of the tendril stuffed down her throat a bit.
Ooh.
I'll lead the way back. I will survival.
Game.
Okay,
And the
so
phone is just the whole way.
She willingly comes with you.
Well, I don't have any rope to tie her up with because it went into the acid.
You're adventurers. You have plenty of rope.
Oh.
Yeah, but we need to make our way back to.
Oh look, it's Zyzzyx's Mastiff.
Huh.
Hello, guys.
Why wasn't that there before?
I don't know.
Alright. So you find Gnawbone looking at her orbs, and she said, "I saw you coming."
I would hope so.
Did you see the fight?
It was anticlimactic. But I see you brought me a gift.
Oh yes, she's all nice up and she's nice and wrapped up and tied in a bow just for you.
I died for a second.
Anticlimactic. That was an entire fireball.
She goes, so you're the one tormenting me day and night, sending hordes and hordes of your filthy undead to my lair. She takes a step forward. For weeks and weeks, I haven't been able to rest, to sleep.
Gentlemen,
step forward.
I think everybody needs to take a step back. Everybody else just takes a step back.
Maybe don't stand in the line
with me.
Yeah, everybody just kind of clears the way.
Now I can take it.
We part the Red Seas.
I'm pulling Sally with me.
Oh!
And she spits out the bone that she has in her mouth. hits the floor. And she inhales once, twice. You see like a green glow in her throat as the glowing acid begins to build. And she goes, you will not, with this disgrace, you will never see your master in death. And she opens her mouth as she prepares to exhale. But when she does, you just hear and like drips of acid start coming from her mouth. And Claugiyliamatar falls to the floor. Her whole body begins to shake violently. Her tail thrashes, reducing stalagmites to dust and thunderously colliding with the cave walls. The dragon foams at the mouth as dark, swirling shadows flies into the cave and shakes up into her nostrils. Then, as suddenly as a Claugiyliamatar violent fit started, it stops. After a short pause, the dragon's eyes snap open, revealing her once green irises to be black, lightless pits. And she bellows, I, Chardala Vistratal, the Ebondeath, have returned. Praise be to Merkel.
I thought that would have happened.
Oh no, that's not good.
So she gets back to her feet. She has a hard time standing for a moment as the undead, as Cruel Hex just laughs and laughs and laughs. She goes, success! Success!
I think we were played, gentlemen.
And the dragon raises her wings and beats them as she flies into the air out of her lair.
If I cast Dispel Magic, would she come to her senses?
Mm-mm.
She's gone.
I think she's also possessed.
Well,
we should probably kill this lady, this horrible... we should probably just kill her real quick.
Yep, that's the plan.
So here's a question for y'all. How late do you want to stay up?
I think this is a good time to stop.
Yeah.
I want to kill this pig and take all the treasure.
Yeah, but... Yeah, if we didn't, it's way too late.
Yeah, it's way too late.
Okay.
Ask how we can reverse the spell, so that way we don't have to kill the dragon, because the green dragon's pretty nice.
I pick up this lady and I just start shaking her and going like, how do we stop this? And can I roll intimidation for that?
You don't need to. She just laughs and goes, the ritual is complete. Ebondeath lives once more. In your little pathetic town of Leylon will be doused and burnt to the ground.
So in an uncharacteristic bout of unusual brutality, Lilisula grabs this person by the top of her head and like twists her head to look towards Lemon, and Lilisula points at Lemon. See that? That's our card. That'll kill it. I assure you, this is a fruitless victory for you.
What?
She just looks. She looks at Lemon and goes, "That little whelp."
Here you are, covered in your own entrails, surrendered and dying. Ah, yes, a lasting legacy you'll have.
She goes, I give my life willingly to Merkel.
You give your life pointlessly to Merkel.
You know what? No.
It's like, no, it's full of meaning. I just completed my duty.
Yeah,
I grab the cat. I grab this sack of bones that I really don't like anymore. Haul her over here.
Yes.
And throw her in the acid.
Yes.
Oh.
She offers no resistance, and as she burns away in the acid, she just laughs and laughs and laughs until she's totally engulfed in it.
Hey, we've got friends.
She's dead.
We've got friends. We got people we can turn to help us with this whole situation. It's an undead dragon, or a dragon possessed. There's got to be someone who knows something about these kinds of things, and they should be able to help us resolve this problem.
Well,
so since it is late.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so since it is late, we will not do the
the to be continued.
The other battle, which would have been these guys.
Oh man.
What are those? Look at them.
Who knows?
Fireball, level 5.
But
Take it.
You make your way outside the lair.
Aw, I wanted to take your dragon treasure.
Well, okay. We don't have time for a battle, but you can explore the room as much as you want.
Yeah, I was say because you said there was treasure up here, right?
Don't take too long, though.
Yeah, Lilisula is gonna go and try to find her dagger, the one that she left.
You easily find it.
Yeah.
Easily find it within the bones.
Oh, that's...
Don't take backsies.
So Purvis tries to climb up the cliff and inspect this alcove.
Is there any way... Okay, while they're doing that, is there any way we can take the orbs with us?
Oh. They're like 10 feet tall. They're huge.
Okay, we'll come back for them.
Hold on.
That's all good.
All right, so you see 4 statues up here, and in the little alcove, you see the dragon horde.
She calls down, like, guys, there's a lot of money up here. You know, if Leylon gets destroyed, we could just take all this money and leave.
How about no?
Well, look, listen. It was worth.
Okay, so you do see the treasure, but within the area of it is a green gas.
Oh. It's protected. Should have figured.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's like trapped. Excuse me, it's like trapped within that area of the alcove, and it doesn't reach beyond it.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have climbed up here. Oh, that didn't happen.
It's that.
Oh no, it's only like
okay.
from here.
Well,
Can't see
unless
that.
we have some way of making wind.
Well, if it's a trap, I assume like we could probably not blow it out of the way.
It's like the green gas is like in that area right there.
Okay. maybe if we somehow save this Chartle Martle, they'll maybe they'll give us something. I don't know.
Either way, it's not going anywhere right now.
Good
The
point.
dragon, however, is.
The more we wait, the more people it burns.
Yeah, we need to get
Which is
going.
a bad thing, Sally.
The more we wait, the more people they burn without us being there to witness it.
Close
Right,
enough
well.
for Sally.
Lead the way. Let's see what we might be able to do about this.
I think that's. Yeah.
All right, you all leave the lair. As you enter the forest, you look skyward. You see no sign of the dragon, and it's uneventful when you reach the road. And as you head back to Leylon, and a dragon would have easily been able to beat you to the town, but you find it still standing as you arrive. This is not the Icewind Dale. That game. But you arrive back at Leylon several hours later.
Mm-hmm.
What do they want with this town? It's just a little town. What are these
Still left the
dragons want?
guard. We should send out an alarm, alert the town's guard, the town's city watch.
Yeah, probably not a bad
Okay,
idea.
sorry. Yeah, you let the town leaders know, like, what's going on, and they're pretty disappointed that you failed to
Wow.
stop the dragon in any way. But they're also like, I don't know what you could have done.
Exactly.
Different dragon. It's
No,
not
I
the
mean,
same
we-
dragon.
I wonder what would have happened if we'd killed that lady instead of bringing her back.
Oh yeah, I mean, you did say, like, yeah, we did stop Gnawbone from attacking the town, but unfortunately she got possessed by
Ebon
the
Death.
spirit of
so-
Ebon Death.
So I know.
I wonder how Eben.
Um,
Kind of wish Bahamut informed us about that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he left that part out of it.
Yeah, it tends to do that.
I wonder how Ebon Death feels about being in a green dragon, woman green dragon's body. That's got to be fun.
There's
I think he just likes being alive again.
Well, I guess. Listen, someone has to ask these questions, and it might as well be me.
Ebon Death is apparently a big deal because, like, when the Magic set came out with D&D characters, he was like a legendary creature in it.
Oh wow.
Ebon Death, the Draco Lich. So he has a habit of dying and coming back, I guess.
I bet that's a girl now.
Yeah. Sure
I'll
hope.
see you next time, heroes.
The town guards agrees to, like, double its patrols and be on the lookout for this thing, but it's like, we don't have the army to withstand a dragon attack.
We don't have the strength to fight Mordor and Isengard.
But we shall do our best to prepare if this prophecy comes to pass. Have our word.
Well, of course, we'll be here as well, doing our part.
Yeah, she thanks you. They'll thank you. They say they have no reward for them for this, but We appreciate everything you do for this town. Without you, it would have been like we would have all perished in that elemental attack when you first arrived. And I'll be damned if this town falls now, for as strong as we've become.
Well, sounds good. I'm gonna go to the bar.
Yep. You all go down to the Umber Hulk's Shell Inn for a just a nice hard drink, and you all will level up.
Wow.
Hooray.
Sorry.
As we conclude Sleeping Dragon's Wake.
Nice. What a time.
Now does the name make sense?
Yes.
Yes.